What's going on, guys? Happy Wednesday, happy hump day. It's your boy Nicky Santora back at you with another video. Thank you for the views, thank you for subscribing. So this week I want to talk about when I lost my mother. I was 15 years old, and as some of you may know already, my mother was an active drug user and she used prescription painkillers. Now my mom got into it at a young age, teenage years, and it kind of just snowballed until she got older. She became a mother, wife, and it affected her gradually. My father had a heart attack at a young age, which I've spoken about before, and that kind of pushed her to the deep end. It was years of in and out of drug rehabs. We were in foster care. ACS removed us, put us back in her care, removed us again, and it was just back and forth. But when I was 15, I went to go live with her. It was a couple of months before my sisters were planning on moving up. I believe it was Swan Lake upstate. That's where we were living. Now, my mother was high that day, and she was high for a couple of days leading up to that day, and I knew it. I was very accustomed to knowing when my mother was high, so I knew it right away. We went to the store. She bought me Newport. She was trying to be like that cool mom. She was letting me drink at night. It was it was noticed that she was doing the wrong thing, you know? So the night before she passed away, we were up. We stayed up late. She got into a fight with my stepfather at the time, and he left. And it was a pretty bad fight, but he left, so I stayed up with her. She was making pork chops like 12 o'clock at night. My mom was crazy, especially when she was high. She'd always be cooking, cleaning. It was always chaos with her. I stayed up with her because I knew she was high, and I always liked to just keep my eyes on her to make sure she didn't do anything stupid, like keep the stove on or anything. So she finally said she was tired, so I brought her to bed. I made her tea. I put her to bed. I gave her a kiss goodnight, and then I went to bed. Now, when I woke up at maybe like 6:30, and I peeked my head over, and I seen her laying on her stomach, and I didn't think anything of it. I just kind of rolled over and went back to sleep. And then when I woke up again, maybe an hour and a half later, I looked over and I seen her in the same position, and it was kind of odd to me, but it wasn't too odd because, again, she lived that crazy life where she passed out in weird positions all the time. I nudged her, and right away the body was stiff, and it was cold, and I flipped her over, and when I saw her face, it was really that's how I knew. And it was fucked up, man. It really was. She I don't want to get too graphic. It was very noticeable that she was gone. I called 911 first, and they were telling me, do you have a defibrillator? Try to revive her. And to be honest with you, I knew she was gone, and I didn't want to go anywhere near her, so I stayed in the other room. I was 15 years old. I was scared. Once the paramedics and everybody got there and they started like running in the house, I left the house. I didn't even want to be in the house. I didn't want to be anywhere near it. That day was honestly, that's probably the worst day of my life. And what really fucked me up was afterwards, we went to my stepfather's friend's house, and to go into the bathroom, you had to walk through like the basement closet. We were in the basement, and I went to walk through there, and it was dark, and I saw her face, right? The face I saw when I found her, and it fucked me up for years. I was scared of the dark until I met my wife, because I would see that face in the dark. I'm not afraid of the dark anymore. But it was that was some crazy times, man. I was 15 years old, and it was a shell shock, and it really whipped my world into I guess, life, you know? I wasn't ready for it. And my little siblings, man, the hardest part was I told my brother, I called him, he came up with my cousins, and coming back down to the city and telling my little sisters that my mom passed away was that was probably the hardest part of the whole ordeal. That was harder than finding her, to be honest with you. It really fucked me up. But we got past it, man. I mean, I became a really bad drug addict. I self-medicated myself for years and numbed myself and almost killed myself and fucking almost set my whole world on fire. But I'm here now, you know? Therapy, rehabs, and just talking to people and getting help, professional help, it really helped me out a lot. And if you're going through it, or if you've been through some crazy stuff, talk to somebody and just get it off your chest. Because I blame myself a lot for my mother's death, because I was the only one there, so I felt like it was my fault because I could have did something different, but there was nothing I could do. When it's your time, it's your time. My mother was a sick person, and you can't help somebody that doesn't want to help themselves. And that's the God honest truth. And I had to go through my own addiction to kind of see what she went through, or kind of see things from her point of view. I like doing these little clips with little parts of my life to let you guys know about. So, again, Nicky Santora, thank you guys for subscribing, liking the video, all the love you've been giving me on the page. Hit me up, check me out on social media, Instagram, TikTok, Shallon's Funny Guy. Staten Island, much love. Living in Florida now. It's your boy.